Talking to MC show, Lady Vol post game, bringing it to you live. Maria M. Cornelius, that's 2MC. Say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
And of course, we're bringing this to you live from volunteerroadshow.com, sponsored by Orange Mountain Designs, also Blue Waters Climate Control, Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball. And listen, this is something we do post game after every single game, bringing it to you from an expert media author, writer, and Maria Cornelius, and then obviously a former Lady Vol and myself, Alexis Hornbuckle, and we are very passionate about the Lady Vols and bringing back the positivity and the legacy that the Lady Vol name used to bring. So, Maria, obviously you're at the game, still in TBA as we see, and break down what you got from the post game.
No place I'd rather be than inside Thompson Bowling Arena.
Yes.
Love it here. Uh, they started out well, and that's what you want to do coming off a loss. And Jordan Walker, she starts the game by drawing a charge. Other end, she hits a three. They hit 14 threes this
Yes,
game.
yes, they did.
They did what they were supposed to do. I mean, this is Furman. This wasn't an SEC opponent or Big 12 opponent. We do have to couch what we say in terms of the opponent. But they did what they were supposed to do. There was a lag in the third quarter, but
Yeah.
they made up for it in the fourth quarter. So I think overall it's a good win. You know the big deal of this. They just finished up exams.
Yeah.
Today was their first, I mean, school's out, and you know what kind of pressure that puts on you and how relieved you are to get that done. So it's all basketball here for the next month.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. They look better. We play better, but no disrespect, but it is not an SEC opponent. It's not, a Power 5 school. So we're supposed to do what we did tonight. And number one, congratulations to my Lady Vol sisters. Congratulations to Coach Harper and her coaching staff. And I think we're on the right path. We're progressing. But I told Maria, I don't know if y'all could listen in before the show, but I told Maria, I'm going to continue to challenge our Lady Vol team to that 100. When we're playing non-conference teams, unrated teams, our goal should be to put 100 points on that scoreboard and to keep them under 40. Offensively, just working, having in-game situations, working on plays, working on execution, talking, right, communicating, fighting through screens, really challenging these teams so that when we play a Texas like Sunday, right, or when we get to our Yukons or our South Carolinas or our Kentuckys, we're prepared. It's not about turning up a notch. It's actually about trying to get them to match our intensity, our energy, our efficiency. Excuse me. So that's kind of what where my approach will be coming from tonight. What about you, Maria?
I agree. And when Destiny Salary went to the line with just a few seconds left to take a couple free throws, I'm like, I hope she hits both of them so she'll get to 90. Lex will be a little more happy that they got to 90. So not 100, but 90 sounds better than 88. It just does.
It was closer. I applaud the win all the way, all the way.
Now, Kelly, after the game, obviously she's happy with the win. She was not happy with the 3-point defense, particularly after they discussed it at halftime and Furman opens the third quarter by draining another three. Now, here's the good news. Furman started 8 of 12 from the arc through three quarters. They finished 9 of 21. So and Tennessee elevated its defense. So they they showed they can make the adjustments. And Kelly played 13 players.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of players. Everybody getting minutes. Tess Darby, a freshman, played for the first time tonight. She missed the first games with the lower leg issue. Drains a three, and the bench just went wild, absolutely wild. So that's the kind of stuff you like to see too. Teammates happy for teammates, and winning together. The other thing is that Renia Davis continues to struggle offensively,
Mm-hmm.
but the team it keeps picking her up. And just imagine this team when Renia Davis gets back to being Renia Davis, because she will. Nobody doubts that.
Oh, it's gonna get scary. I'm excited. Yes, am I slightly like little disappointed we didn't get that 100, but I'm so proud of their focus tonight. Their energy, and like you say, they do continue to pick up Davis, and it's going to get scary when everything starts clicking back for her and she finds her rhythm and the team continues. My hopes are that once she does continue to click and get back into rhythm, the team continues to elevate and nobody stops doing what they're already doing or trying to do, because that's going to kind of put us back or make us plateau. We need to continue to grow. The team needs to continue to do what it's doing, looking better game by game. And then when she clicks, she doesn't know when it's going to happen. You or I, nobody knows when it's going to happen. But when it happens, Maria, oh my gosh, we will be a force to be reckoned with. If everybody could be clicking on the same cylinders and you have offensive threats and defensive threats from your entire bench, but really your 8 or 9 or 10 that you're running in rotation heavily, that's gonna look lovely.
Yeah. And to your point, I mean, you can get when you're hitting shots like that, it can almost seem too easy, and the defense can sort of take a dip. I
Yeah,
mean, they led 52-33 at halftime, and
yeah,
my first thought is 33. That's too many points for Furman. That's
absolutely agree.
so. Those are the things that I mean. There's and Kelly even said because she knew the season could get disrupted by COVID. There could be cancellations. There could be quarantines. They were much heavier in preseason on offensive work, and she said the defense is going to have to catch up, and we're going to catch up. And as a coach, she's really happy that exams are over because there's no NCAA rules now. There's no 20-hour a week rule now. That's
now,
over. That's
now they're gonna die like a 4 hour practice. Not saying that we had any of those in NCAA, but I've heard that people do have 4 hour practices.
the
Um,
NCAA doesn't care when school's out. The
yeah,
coaches can do what they want now.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, we got a question from, first off, thank you for everybody that's watching on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, not Instagram, I'm sorry, Twitter, and or using volunteerroadshow.com to get directly to any of those links. But Kristen asked Alexis Hornbuckle, what is the best way to get out of a slump? Put up more shots, get in the gym, repetition, repetition, repetition. And I'm sure she's doing that. And for whatever reason, it's not her time right now. And that actually may be beneficial to the team and where we're trying to be, come postseason. Because if she came out firing on all cylinders, amazing. Obviously, as a former player, as a fan of anybody that wears that Lady Ball uniform, and of a fan, period, that's what you want to see. We want to see close to perfection, right? But the fact that her teammates are picking her up for these first 4 games, and she hasn't even completely been in beast mode for her, that's a great sign for us. And it comes down, Kristen, to repetition.
She's still a focal point of the defense because nobody wants to be the one that Renaya erupts on. And Ray is taking full advantage of that. One thing I love about Ray too is she keeps moving on offense. She is not a
I like how she
stationary
plays.
player. You are not. You're going to get tired guarding her because you're going to have to move. She's going to move her, and she's relentless on the board. She's always had a high motor as a player. It just she never knew when to rev it down, and she would get playing too fast. And I mean, you hit that junior year and things start to click. And credit to Ray because she's put in all the work. This is Ray's doing because she puts in the work.
Absolutely. So Ray, if you're listening, keep doing what you're doing. If anything, keep putting in more work, because it's going to take another level to get the results that you're truly looking for. And for Davis, stay in the gym. I heard you're a gym rat anyway. I love that. Keep putting up the shots. They're going to fall. Keep shooting the shots that's open. Don't do too much. Let the game come to you and find that rhythm. It's going to come to you. Keep praying, keep practicing, stay on top of it. It's going to come to you. Maria, Laura asked a question. How do the starters from last year, TK, Jordan, Houston, how do they deal with coming off the bench this year?
They're not on the bench long. I mean, Kelly Kelly gets that rotation churning in a hurry. They are incredibly engaged on the bench. They are ready to go when they go in. I mean, as a player, do you want to start? Absolutely. If you
Right.
don't want to start, then you're probably not competitive. But you're going to say the right things and do the right things because you got to be a teammate first. But in terms of the way they look on the bench, the way they interact on, even though they're all spread out, I mean, the bench is, you know,
Yeah. Well,
L
it's
shape
oh,
or yeah.
yeah.
I do like the interaction. I do like the fact that they still talk to each other. They have they go to each other's chair and they talk and go back. So I they seem to be handling it maturely and well. But of course, I mean, if you're a player, you want to start.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So I get that, and you should want to start. You're a competitor. You should want to start the game.
Absolutely. You should want to start and finish it. Everything in between is kind of you're setting the stage for what's happening after that, and then obviously you want to be the one to control the ending. But
Damari's in her foul trouble. She had 4 fouls today. I asked Kelly about it in the post game, and she said they were just talking about it, her and Tamari, after the game. About they're going to watch each foul on film tomorrow and kind of go over it because they need Tamari on the floor.
yeah, she has to stay
Definitely.
on the court. Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's
you know it as a player. If you want to see who a coach trusts, get in crunch time in a close game and see who's on the floor.
absolutely, absolutely. I
And at
agree.
West Virginia, that was Tamari and Jordan Horston because even though Tamari she fouled out, which did not help them in overtime, of course.
Absolutely. And I think when you come off the bench, you're actually in a very similar position as the starters because your job is to come up and elevate the start of the game, the play of the game. Now it's just not maintain it. You're supposed to obviously sustain it, but also elevate that level coming in. So you have just as much on your shoulders as the starters do because you don't want to be the liability. You don't want to be the reason that we lost momentum or the turnovers started happening like crazy or bad decisions or stagnant play, stagnant motion within the offense. You don't want to come in and be that player off the bench. So, in order for that to happen, they have to have people like TK and Horston coming up, and there will be some adjustments and changes. You know, we said this last show, like the starting five isn't set yet. It's almost impossible. Nobody's played that well consistently in these 4 games. It's been up and down. You've had a couple. Ray, she's actually been coming solid pretty every game, pretty much every game. But everybody else, I think they're here and then they kind of go here. Nobody's really playing terrible. Um, but yeah, you're gonna have to have your big time players that could and should start because it works best for the team. You have to remember this is a team sport. And I think that Horston and TK have bought into that. And when they come off, like you said, Maria, they're not on the bench long and they come in with firepower. They come in with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove because they are trying to get that starting spot.
And it's also it is like with Ray Burrell. I've said this over and over. The more juniors and seniors you have on a team that have come up through the system, that is when Tennessee will really start to turn a corner as far as being a national contender.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing that replaces upperclassmen. It's particular. Here's Ray as a junior. We see it. Ray
Yeah.
as a freshman versus Ray as a junior is night and day. I'm imagining Jordan Horston and Tamari Key as juniors too. Everything they do this year just builds up for when it all starts to click for you, and that really happens in your junior year. The first 2 years, you're such a learning experience. But like you said, Kelly goes to that bench fast. She does. It's almost like she does it. She doesn't really. She has almost like a starting seven because
Yeah.
midway through the first quarter, they've all played.
I would have to, yeah, that I agree with that. Starting seven. I like that. Hey,
But
Bobby, do we have anything over there on YouTube?
Yeah, ladies, say hello to EJ Henderson. Got a
What's up,
comment.
EJ?
So ready for it to get scurry. Keep holding it down, Lady Vols. The real UT would love to see that 100 against Texas.
The real UT. You're funny, buddy. Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, Knoxville is the only real UT. This is the only real orange. You're staring at it. Okay, it's behind all three screens. All right, but thank you for watching the show. We appreciate the love, and I love rivalries. I love people that talk smack because I did it since I was probably 2 years old. Maria, somebody said, "I love your mask."
Orange Mountain Designs. That's where I got it. OrangeMountainDesigns.com. Left foot, right foot, breathe. Pat Summit. In fact,
Hey,
I got some more in the mail the other day from Terry.
you
I
need
mean
to
that if
let
you,
them know where they can find the actual store. If they don't go visit OrangeMountainDesigns.com, where can they go?
it's right off Gill Street in Alcoa, right behind the Kroger in Alcoa. You can't miss it.
And it's
Um,
right on the ticker right now as we speak, the website, too.
Yes, make
hey
sure y'all
Lacey, I'm waving at
buy.
Coach Godwire. Alexis
Hey,
Hornbuckle says
bye,
hi.
Coach. Uh, so
You know
yes,
I'm in here late when the assistant coaches are leaving.
yeah, I know, right? Because they stay the longest. Oh, good question from Kirk Thomas. Curious your thoughts on Collier from Texas. Texas A&M doubled and triple teamed Collier and got her frustrated. Wonder if the Lady Vols will do the same. What do you think their approach will be?
I mean, you got to focus on Collier because she's a beast to deal with. And Tennessee has the post players to throw at her. That's one good thing about Tennessee's post depth. Tennessee is big. It's
Yeah,
hard. I mean, you've seen them up close. You've been on the floor with them. You don't realize how big they are until you're on the court or sideline with them, and they are just a big team.
yes.
Now, that can teams that are big can be vulnerable on the defensive end sometimes because those little guards can be a pest. But there were several possessions Tennessee was dialed in on its defense, and Furman could not penetrate any layer of it. They had no openings, and you know that you just got to realize that is your defense every possession, not every other, or not when you feel like it.
Hmm.
Whether you're 20 up or 10 down, that has to be your mindset on defense every single time.
I hope y'all heard that. That's an absolute fact. I agree. You're gonna have to focus on her double team. I don't know. That's obviously Coach Harper's decision. It might be something where you can stunt and recover, or maybe you only dribble in certain situations when she puts the ball on the ground. And then how do you double, or where are you doubling from? Are you doubling post to post? Are you doubling from the middle guard, the ball side guard, opposite guard? What are you doing? Um, but you definitely want to keep the ball out of her hands, and you definitely want to force her to get frustrated early. I'd
They
have to agree.
talked more tonight too, which is a good sign. Not to the level it needs to be, but there's a lot of new and a lot of different lineups that are in, a lot of new players, but they're talking more. In fact, I heard the bench more tonight than I have.
The energy was a lot more live. It was more vibrant tonight, I would have to say, and that's just me watching it. How was it for you being in the actual TBA?
Yeah, they they were much, and part of that too is that relief of exams being done. You just cannot underestimate the weight off your shoulder when you get exams done. So I think there was a certain, it's over. Now we can focus on basketball, but you know, that really is a good break because the spring semester doesn't start till mid-January. They literally have a month off. So
Wow, that's nice though,
yeah,
right?
it's
All right,
nice for
guys.
them.
Listen, y'all know we never want to keep y'all here, and especially when it's late on these 10 o'clock ones. So go ahead and put all of your questions and comments into the section, whether you're on Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook watching us right now. I will get to the questions that have been asked. So we have Caroline Malone said, Rini was given a bigger role tonight. Do you think she's more than just a 3 point player shooter? I think that it's going to take more time to really define who she is and what her exact role is. I think tonight is just too early to jump to that conclusion, in my opinion.
She had a beautiful pass inside to Tamari
Yes, she did.
too.
Yes, she did.
Tamari got fouled so she didn't, she didn't get an assist. But Jessie's got some skill. She's another one. She's just a sophomore. I think these young players get thrust into such huge roles so early that we forget how young they still are. And
You're Lady Bob though, Maria. You know the standards are a little bit higher.
they are high.
Expectations are a little bit higher.
Speaking of, they only had 14 turnovers. I mean, that's huge. That's you
Yep.
want 15 or less. So
15. When did that go up? Our goal used to be 12.
12.
I'm like 15. That's a luxury.
All right, we're gonna 15 and walk it back to 12.
No, it's Coach Harper's system. I was talking about back in the day. We was
Oh,
12.
I don't. That 15 is just my number of what you don't want to get over that.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
ours was
I don't
12.
know what Kelly's number is.
You ran for anything over that, and then you ran for all of your individual turnovers too. So you had team sprints and then your individual sprints you had to make up. But you could take charges or set like get a screen assist, and it can knock off you know your turnovers or your missed box outs. So it was a pretty fair system. It was a hard system, but it was a fair system.
Charges, the officials have just got their eyes on Tennessee as far as charges. Some of these are really getting questionable too.
You know what? We will not talk about the refs because the referees.
We
You know they
promise
have.
to be nice. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I
nice.
promise to be
This
nice.
is not the platform for that.
Looking at
But
my
yeah, there's
notes.
controversial calls. But I will say, Horston, if you're listening, stop leaving your feet to make passes. Those jump passes that's what's getting you in trouble. Leaving your feet, not being ready to make a decision, and now you're getting charges called on you. Are all of them charges? Maybe not. But because you're known for that, that's personnel, and the refs are looking for that. So you have to adapt and adjust your game. And what's funny is I used to do the same thing, and Pat used to yell at me. Even when I went to the league, Bill and Rick used to yoke me up, cuss me out, everything. And I really got benched for like a whole game almost because they said, I can't trust you not to leave your feet. But my whole game changed after that. Once I got used to keeping my dribble, making decisions quicker, just maturing in the game of basketball. So Horston, I'm gonna save you a few years. Stop leaving your feet when you pass. Make your decisions early. And if you're gonna score, go to score. If you're driving the kick, you got to see the defense. You're on the personnel. You're on the scouting report as a player to take charges from. Fool them. Shoot a floater right over. Jump stop. Kick it out. Whatever it is, we need you on the court. Stop getting that offensive foul almost every game now. We got to clean that up.
Yeah, she did later, late third or fourth.
Yeah,
She
it was
came to
later.
a stop, and went straight up. And I'm like, all right, that's
I want to see her do more of that. I want to.
she's got the athleticism
Yes.
to she can play. The stat, nobody would have liked the third quarter. It was 17-16 in terms of score, 17 for
Yeah.
Tennessee, 16. And Kelly wasn't happy, and they knew it. And it was 21-4 in the fourth quarter. That's a lot. That's how you want to end a game. But Kelly liked a lot of what she saw, recognizing that the team was coming off a loss, and she wanted energy and she wanted effort, and she got that. I don't know how I don't give Ray Burrell the player of the game. I mean, 26 points. Her
18 in the
career high.
first half.
Her career high was 21 against Arkansas last year. She hit 6 3-pointers. Her previous career high was 3 against Florida A&M when she was a freshman. She's just playing at a high level. But if I had a co MVP, I'd give it to Jordan Walker with 14 points. She did a good job. She played a good solid floor game. Got to the basket, hit some shots. So the rebounding, I know they won that 41-27 on the boards.
Which should happen.
Yeah. Now they also shot 55%. So there's not a whole lot of offensive boards when you shoot 55%. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
but
think I agree with your player of the game today. She showed out start to finish, and I feel like she's finding her rhythm, and that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
4 games. It's not a she's in a good. That doesn't mean every player can have a bad game. You know that.
Oh, it's
Just
coming. It's coming.
yeah,
I don't know when, but like yes, it's inevitable.
it's inevitable that shots aren't going to fall, or you just sometimes you're just out of sync. You just cannot get in sync with anything that game. But I mean, she she practices hard, and Kelly keeps saying she plays the way she practices. And as simple as
Oh,
that sounds, it makes a huge difference.
oh no, you practice how you play. Pat used to tell us that all the time. You practice how you play. All right, Maria, we're gonna try to. Hey, Bobby, interrupt me anytime if we have any.
Yeah, we got somebody over here. Darius Green says exactly, Alexis. Higher standards at Tennessee. The Texas freshmen are stepping up big time.
Yeah, Texas is looking real good. I'm not gonna lie. We have quite a bit of work to do before that game on Sunday, but it's
And
doable.
the one thing about freshmen stepping up, and I've said it before, it helps when you've got seniors around you. It's a
Yeah,
lot easier as a freshman. I mean, look at South Carolina had, a little bit of, struggles early. They lost their senior point guard.
right.
That senior point guard is so important was so important to South Carolina last season because that's who the youngsters can go to and look to and follow and calms the teams down in huddles. And I just keep waiting for Tennessee to have that perfect balance of young, emerging talent and upperclassmen core that's experienced and calm. I mean, if y'all don't stay calm in Tampa against LSU, you don't win that game.
No, not at all.
That's not the game you put in the hands of freshmen. Not that stage.
Too easy to fold. You're right.
So, but yeah, you're right. There's a standard at Tennessee, and Tennessee has come up short of that standard. And everybody involved in the program wants to get Tennessee back.
I'm sorry. That's my girlfriend that y'all hear yelling in the background. Yes, babe. I'm still live. She said you still live. Sorry, guys. Uh,
Does she think
okay.
you're just sitting on the couch talking to yourself? I
I
mean,
guess so. I guess I'm just talking about Tennessee. I do that often, so it wouldn't be nothing new to her. But nah, Maria, I agree with you. I'm sorry, guys. I got distracted.
it's okay. That's funny.
All right, let's wrap this up. We've been on, longer than our normal 30 minute span, but do you think our current starting five is quick enough to play with the elite program like Texas? That is where I'm a bit leery because the start of the game is so important. Jessica, that is a great question, but I'm going to stop you where you call Texas an elite program and not Tennessee. So I don't care. This is me just being a typical stubborn lady ball and me being good old buck. Elite? I mean, Texas is on a roll. Yes, they're a ranked program. Yeah, but elite, Lady Vols are elite. We just haven't gotten back to that status yet. But I'm never going to take us away from that. But anyway, I digress. Um, I think that if we stick to whatever defensive strategy that Coach Harper has in place, and we play similar with a lot of energy that we had like tonight, and clean up some of the little things and really box out, I still think that's an issue. Uh, yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
have a
boy, there were some missed box outs. Oh my
some
goodness. Yeah.
Jesus, they're letting little
Yeah.
guards come in there and snatch
Mhm.
rebounds. But yeah, is it going to be tough? It's going to be tough because Texas is a really good program. It is a really good team. I agree with you there, Jessica. And because we're still finding ourselves and we haven't clicked on all cylinders. And I mean, that's really what it is. Maria, what do you think? Correct me if I'm wrong,
No,
please.
no, you're right. And Kean Green and Marta Suarez play so hard. What you don't see sometimes is what they're doing to keep possessions alive, how much they're battling for the ball, how much they're getting on the floor. I mean, with that said, a player like Tamari Key, and this is what I asked Kelly after the game. I said, Tamari affects the game on both ends so much because of her size. And that's when I asked her about the foul issues because Tamari cannot be taking herself out of the game with fouls. Tennessee needs her And Tennessee needs Tamari Key at Texas. I mean, no question about it. She
She
is
has
going
to
to have
keep
to
herself on the floor.
battle with those post players.
Yeah, you
And
get yeah. You got TK. Keep your butt on the floor. Stop fouling. Stop reaching. Move your feet that extra step. Don't go for every block shot. Sometimes just build a wall. That's it. You're gonna have to learn how to pick and choose when to go to block a shot. You know what I mean? When to let something go because you know you're late. But that comes with just maturing in the game. And like you say, they're gonna break down the film. So she'll
and this is teaching time now. I mean, coaches love when the NCAA says, "Yeah, you can go 40 hours a week if you want to. You can do what you want now."
right.
I know I know Rutgers players, they always wish that Coach Stringer didn't know that. I mean, Coach
Oh my
Stringer had like
gosh.
a
Yeah, I've heard
5-hour
stories.
practice.
I've heard stories. I have a lot of good friends that played under Coach Stringer. So
But this is a good time. School's done. You finished up your semester. Now you can just focus on basketball. Don't think about Christmas too soon. Don't think about going home. You still got work to do. But
yeah,
I will shout out every player playing in a pandemic. It is just such a strange situation. There is nothing normal about it, and so shout out to any of these players that are playing and playing hard and getting through this because mentally, it's not an easy thing. There's no way it can be an easy thing.
no, it's not. It is definitely tough, and yeah, I commend every young athlete that's going through this, no matter what sport you're playing. It's tough. I mean, it's tough for us regular people with our jobs, and people, even entrepreneurs or teams and schools. So people that you're getting tested multiple days during the week. You're done with school, but now you're worried about when you do go home and visit family coming back. Are you going to be healthy? Is everybody? It's so much happening that we don't really realize. So Maria, I appreciate you bringing attention to the mental health aspect because that is very, very important.
And that's where you come together too, because as a team, all you've got is each other. When it boils down to it, that's all you got, each
Oh yeah.
other.
Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna answer one more question, guys, and then we're gonna get out of here. Um Mike said, "How can we improve on getting the ball in the post? There are often times that the post players are open to the block, and the person with the entry pass often passes it back to the top instead of getting it inside. Post feed is art in basketball. It's like a minor. You have to minor in it. You really have to take the time to learn angles, reading defensive of where their hips are facing, where their feet are, stepping through the pass, going through contact because everybody's reaching. And also while you're doing that from your position, you also have to take note of how your post player is being guarded and where they're asking for the ball at. Is it high? Is it low? Are they behind? Is it a lot? It's so much that goes into it. And I get frustrated at that too, but I also understand if you don't really study the game and take the time to really hone in and work on that, which we're in season. We don't have time to do that right now. So it's a matter of the girls really trying to figure that out, or the assistant coaches or coaches getting in the gym with them and working on that extra. And that's hard to do right now, but I think that's what it is.
It's film work and reps. There's no
No
substitution
way
for
around.
it. Yeah, it's hard work and it's extra work. It's not something that you could get accomplished in that 20-hour week. That you've got to put in. You got to put in things like that on your own time. That's film study more than anything too.
I agree totally. Guys, I hate that we didn't get to all of your questions. Um, Please go ahead and leave them in the chat. Maria and I and Bobby and I will go through, make sure all questions are answered before we go to bed. But thank you again for tuning in. Big shout out to Orange Mountain Designs. I saw Terry hop on. Terry, thank you for everything that you do and allowing us to use this platform. And we hope that people are going to orangemountaindesigns.com or visiting the actual storefront in Alcoa. Also, thank you to Blue Waters Climate Control, Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball, and Maria. Thank you for your time and everything that you do. And of course, number one volunteer Roadshow. Thank you, Catfish. We appreciate you hosting us. Maria, you got anything for the people?
I'm just gonna pack up and Like when
Are
I'm
you
in
the
this
last one?
arena, do what?
Are you the last one?
Yeah, I think there's one person vacuuming at this point. I think that's it. But I love it in here. I mean, this is where I feel good. This is my zen. Like I said before, when it's quiet, I hear Pat. The voice of Pat comes through this arena, and I got to go home because they don't let me sleep here. But
I've slept there
I
a few times throughout my
I
4 years.
love being in this arena.
I'm
It's
not
a
gonna lie.
cathedral.
I'm not gonna lie. When you're at home games, I love it. I feel like our show has a whole different vibe when you're in TV.
I love it. It's a special place, and it's a special thing to wear that Tennessee jersey. And I know you know it, and these Lady Vols, they learn it, they realize it. So, and shout out to the Tennessee kid Tess Darby hitting her first three.
Yeah,
She's a
yeah,
freshman. I
congrats.
mean that's a big deal when you're from the state of Tennessee too. So, congrats to Tess.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're out. Love y'all. Have a good night. God bless. Be safe. Wear a mask. Be smart. Make sure you support your Lady Vols. Support volunteerroadshow.com and also orangemountaindesigns.com. Till next time.
See you Sunday.